YouTube fam and the Canna Cronies. This is CJ Cannacrone coming at you. A couple of things to talk about today. I'm going to talk about a new book. Well, it's not really new, but it's new to me, and I'm just rifling through it. Another thing is they've announced Battlefront 2 to come out in 2017. That's right, 2017. I can't wait for that to happen. It's going to be amazing. And also, Bacta. I'm just digging this friggin' thing. It's just amazing. One of the best cards that you can ever imagine that's come into this game. It's just amazing, just amazing. But anyways, let's start off with the book that I'd like to talk about today is called Dark Disciple, and it's really quite a great book. It's full of Jedi and Sith, and actually two people get together to kill Dooku. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Try to kill Count Dooku, because if you follow the Star Wars lore, you know that he's not dead until Revenge of the Sith. So you know he's just not. And this book is part of the Clone Wars that actually was going to be produced as the Clone Wars, but because it wasn't, because of the Disney takeover or the Disney purchase, it wasn't released, because they switched from that to Rebels, which is kind of a drag, because I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars, the animated series, the 3D animated series, not the one that they put out prior, although I did watch some of it. It was okay. Now, the book itself is really cool. They go to a bunch of different planets, and it is pretty much Star Wars from start to finish. The only thing I would caution is if you're not into, there's a little bit of romance, and it's not that bad, it's really not that bad, but there is romance there. So if you're not a big fan of that, you may want to maybe back away from this book. But I'm into I'm crazy into the Star Wars lore, the Star Wars story, so anything I can get my hands on. I don't really follow the comics too much, but more novels. This would be my third book in probably the last year or so that I've dug into. I'm just about halfway, if not a little bit past that, but great book. Now, DICE has released that they're going to be releasing a Battlefront 2 from the new game, and it's going to include things like The Force Awakens and all the characters and things like that from The Force Awakens, and it's just amazing that we have this opportunity to play more of the Battlefront thing and to be more into the story. Like I've said before, I'm not a big gamer. All I really do is play Star Wars games, so it's really cool that after 14 million copies were sold of Battlefront, they're saying that it is a successful franchise, part of the franchise, and they're going to continue to release new content along with staying with Battlefront and releasing a bunch of stuff for 2016, and I can't wait for that either. I'm just totally stoked for new maps and new guns and HUT contracts and everything else. So again, we're probably going to look at that probably to the closer to the end of 2017, say November or December, I'm guessing, because I think October is when this Battlefront came out. So it'll be well over 2 years. Yeah, it'll be well over 2 years that Battlefront has been out. So this is good. This is a good thing. This is good for people like myself who really enjoy this game. I know that there's a lot of haters out there for this particular one, but maybe they'll like the Battlefront 2 because of the new characters. Maybe they're thinking that these characters are older and they don't really know them as much as us older folk, being 45. I know Leia, I know Nina, I know boba, and I mean, I know that the kids have heard of them, but it was a big part of our childhood. If you're in your 40s or even your 30s, you never know, right? So enough about that. Let's talk about the Bacta bomb. Now, the Bacta bomb is a grenade that you throw to increase your health, and I use it quite dominantly in these particular videos that I produced. Well, not that I produced, but I recorded, and I really, really like it because it gives an opportunity to get higher kill streaks and be able to get to the traits that you need to get to. And it's you get another almost 100% with the Bacta bomb. Depending on how you use it and when you use it, you'll get another over 100 points on your health. And like I said before, if you use the Bacta bomb and the adrenaline sim, that's a medic kit, really, and you get well over 200 health points with that setup. Another great thing with this particular grenade is, let's say one of your teammates is having a hard time with their health. You can throw this into a batch of people who have low health, and instantaneously everybody's at 100. So let's say, for an example, there's a pod right there. If there's a bunch of your buddies around that pod and they're meleeing and getting shot, you can actually throw it to the pod, and everybody around that pod gets 100% health. Like this, for an example, I had 2 guys up there shooting at me. I lost that battle, but I was able to come back and fight some more because I threw my own Bacta bomb at myself. So the great applications for this particular bomb, and I think with the adrenaline sim and the Bacta bomb, it's you can make yourself a really good hand. Actually, probably the strongest hand that you could have right now. The most OP hand right now would be probably with the Bacta and the adrenaline sim. Now, another thing about helping your buddies out is you actually get points for doing that. When you throw the Bacta bomb, you don't just help yourself, but you're helping your partners. And the way that it's set up, whoever's in your vicinity, you get extra points because you've given them that extra health. So it's just great all the way around. And there's no way that I could be doing as good as I'm doing without it. And it depends on the game and the level of players that are actually in that game, both on your team and the other people's teams. But it's just great all around. It's just a fun way to play. Now, in this video, I actually have a blaster rifle. I usually use a blaster pistol with a highly automatic, because I don't have a good aim. I'm not I have no aim at all, actually. So with most of this video, what I have is I have explosive shot, because I'm not such a great shot, and I kind of prefer having that explosive shot over the adrenaline sim, but that doesn't mean that you're not a good shot. And if you are, then power to you and good for you, because if, like I said before, if you use that card in that hand, it's just going to be incredible. Now, off the top of my head, I was just thinking that they found the new actor for the young Han Solo for the upcoming movie that they're going to be producing about Han Solo in his youth. And I don't know if you've seen anything like that on YouTube or whatnot, but I usually watch Collider Jedi Council. You may want to check those guys out. And there's another site that I use for a lot of information. It's StarWarsNewsNet.com, and you got to check that one out. There was a great example of helping your buddy right there into this section. Look at all the points that I generated, not only because I killed the bad guys, but I also helped out my brother in arms, if you will, with the Bacta bomb, and just increasing it's just increasing everything that I'm able to do, increasing my KD ratio, just making me a stronger player overall. But you got to try it, so make sure that you do, and keep coming back and checking it out. I'm at CJ Canacron on Twitter, and you can stop by anytime. I'm here to serve, and you guys have a smashing day.